Okay, let's be honest. When you think of the Eiffel Tower, you probably think, wow, that's tall, and maybe that must have taken forever. But behind that tower of iron spaghetti was a man with a very bold idea.
And when you think of the Statue of Liberty, you probably think freedom. And maybe, why is she green?
Today we're talking about the creative minds behind these monuments, and trust me, they are not boring people. Let's start with Gustave Eiffel, the man behind the Eiffel Tower. He was an engineer who specialized in metal structures, especially iron.
Basically, if it involved metal and needed to stand up without falling, he was your guy.
Before building the tower, Eiffel worked on bridges and even helped design the internal structure of Statue of Liberty. So yes, he was booked and busy.
Fun fact, Eiffel didn't originally draw the first design of the tower. Two engineers working for his company did, but he approved it and made it happen.
He was like the project manager who said, "This is genius, let's build it."
Exactly.
Construction started in 1887 and finished in 1889. That's about 2 years, 2 months, and 5 days. Super fast for something that tall.
The tower stands about 1,083 feet tall today, including antennas. At the time, it was the tallest man made structure in the world.
And get this, it was supposed to be temporary. The plan was to take it down after 20 years.
Imagine deleting one of the most famous landmarks ever. That would have been a huge oops.
It stayed up because became useful for radio signals. So basically, technology saved it.
Also, when workers used about 2.5 million rivets to hold it together, that's a lot of hammering, like a lot.
And surprisingly, very few accidents happened during construction, which was impressive for that time.
Now, here's the funny part: the people in Paris did not like the tower when it was first built.
Writers and artists called it ugly and useless. They were basically the original online haters.
There was even a petition signed by famous artists protesting it. Imagine signing a petition against a building.
Meanwhile, Eiffel was probably just standing there like, just wait, y'all will come around.
Now let's talk about the creator of the Statue of Liberty.
He was a sculptor who loved creating large, dramatic works of art.
And when he says large, we mean huge. This man did not believe it in keeping it small.
Barthold wanted to create a symbol of freedom and democracy. The statue was meant to celebrate the friendship between France and the United States.
Construction of the statue began in 1875 in France and took about 9 years to complete.
The statue is made of copper sheets, which are surprisingly about the thickness of two pennies stacked.
Which is wild because it looks super solid. It's basically strong on the inside, thin on the outside, kind of like a really sturdy soda can.
So, yes, Eiffel really said, "Let me just help with two world famous landmarks real quick."
After it was finished, they took the entire statue apart into over 300 pieces.
Then they packed it into crates and shipped it across the Atlantic Ocean.
Imagine being the person in charge of that delivery. No pressure, just don't lose a giant arm.
Once it arrived in New York, it was reassembled and officially dedicated in 1886.
Okay, important question. Why is the Statue of Liberty green?
It wasn't always green. It started shiny brown color because it's made of copper.
Over time, the copper reacted with air and formed green coating called patina.
So basically, the statue didn't choose green, science chose it.
The Statue of Liberty represents freedom and hope. The torch stands for enlightenment.
And the tablet she holds has the date July 4th, 1776, America's Independence Day.
So many immigrants arriving by ship, the statue was the first thing they saw. It was a powerful moment.
Meanwhile, the Eiffel Tower became a symbol of innovations and creativity in France.
Both of these monuments started as risky ideas that people doubted.
Some people even thought they were terrible ideas.
But now they're known all over the world.
Which just proves sometimes the wildest ideas turned into history.
And without these creators,
We'd have fewer landmarks.
Less inspiration.
And way fewer self